Welcome to Auntie Chats and Tarot. Welcome in. Here we go. Let's get to your message, collective. Thank you to all who have supported this channel. I really appreciate it. Remember, not everything's going to resonate. Take what does, leave the rest. If it's just not something that's clicking with you, it's for somebody else likely, or it might be something that clicks with you later. I also want to mention that all the cards that I use are listed in the description box. If you're interested in that, let's get to the message here. Here we go, collective. What are we talking about? Messages for the collective. You've got Death out here and the Queen of Wands. I feel like you're making a major change in some sort of style that you have or look, going for a different look these days. Yeah. What's that all about? Changing it up. Embracing you. Feeling good in your own skin. That type of energy. What you don't see. And it's like a double confirmation here with the strength in the moon. Is that, and by the way, you have three major arcanas here, major happenings in your life out of 4 cards. What you don't see, truly, from all angles, main point of reading is the strength you have. You haven't ever tapped into that. You don't ever see that. You are very strong. Yeah, embrace your inner lion, your inner lioness. Or that's what's coming about, maybe with this transformation of yours. Let's see, what else? What else we got? 7 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. There's been some sort of farce here for you. I think you tricking you. That you somehow have to go the extra mile. And be the overgiver and give more to people, your relationships, circumstances. You have to always be the big giver here. Because you feel something else is inadequate. Like, for example, you're not enough. I see you making a transition that you are more than enough. Feeling very comfortable in your own skin. A lot of eyes on you. I'm hearing get used to it. Yeah, it's been an illusion that you're not enough, but I feel like you've kind of bought into this. Maybe you heard it from somewhere else, but you've bought into it, or you've felt this way, depending on how it started. The fact of the matter is you've bought into it, you've believed it. You've got the Magician here now, but I feel like huge transformation in your style and feeling comfortable with yourself, and that's brought about a lot of self-confidence and manifestation powers. Yeah. I feel like you're manifesting a lot right now, and there's definitely a nod to your good self-confidence. Right, of course we want to see the Emperor here. You step into your Emperor mode. King of Cups is out here now, 8 of Cups. I don't think you walked away from doing from others. You just walked away from this sense, or you are in the process of walking away from this sense of putting others before you, having to give so much, something like that. Yeah, it's like you've become clearer on this point. King of Pentacles. You've always had the goods to do exactly what you wanted to do and be successful at it. You were maybe too emotional about this, or like I said, putting other people's emotions ahead of what you wanted to see happen in your life. Okay, but I feel like now there's a good balance here. You're transitioning into, I can have both. I can have success and I can have emotion, as well as prioritizing said emotion and prioritizing people in my life, but certainly not putting them above myself. The Fool, Yeah. And I feel like you have totally leapt into this type of mindset. And I hear strategy, but also comfortability with this. Comfort in your own skin. Comfort moving forward with that. With these ideas in mind. I feel like somebody with the letter R may have hurt you in the past. Four of Cups. Yeah, this has been some sort of enlightenment, vision you've had, a download from your spirit team that has really opened up your mind to, what am I doing? I'm holding myself back. I'm the key, actually, to holding myself back. So I can be the key to letting myself out of the cage. And I feel like that's exactly what you're in the process of doing or have done recently. Ten of Pentacles, King of Wands. Yeah. You actually have a match out here, the King and Queen of Wands, but I'm reading this more, not so much a match as part of your balance is coming into tune with your masculine and your feminine. Very dynamic individual I'm speaking to. Very sharp looking individual. Ten of Pentacles out here, the sky's the limit is the vibe. And it's always supposed to have been that way. Like, I feel like you held yourself back for a time, but it was never meant to be your path. Your path is for happiness, taking big leaps with big rewards. I see a lot of abundance here. Embracing the true you, which is a lot more electric than you have maybe been in the past. And to keep embracing that, I feel. Three of Pentacles. New collaborations come in now, just as dynamic. People with a lot of experience, but I feel like you have a lot of experience too. I'm feeling more of a, here's your tribe coming in here that you're going to grow with. Four of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, Eight of Swords. Yeah. We did mention there was a time where you felt like you were holding yourself back. Comes out now. You took on a lot of people's burdens, other people's burdens. I'm just hearing you had no business taking that on. I mean, it's part of this open heart. It's not a scolding. It's saying, let people handle their own business because you handle your business, okay? Over generosity, over giving here. Take care of yourself first before anything. Take care of your foundation. Don't be so easily willing to give that hard-earned foundation away, okay? Sure, what you give away in the spirit of benefiting others comes back to you tenfold. I actually do believe that. But in this case, the little glitch here is that you're putting people in front of your own needs, okay? So it's just a reminder there that can lead to lack, not abundance. And your read is all about the abundance. The Ten of Pentacles here, and I'm going to show it to you again. Ten of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. Lots of pentacles here. Good foundation. Point of the read. Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget the lessons. Stay on course here. Comfortable in your own skin, putting yourself first. That doesn't mean you don't help others. Of course you can. But you're doing for yourself first, then you're helping others. The Hierophant, the Star. Because it's important for you to reach your goals too, your big wishes. And not let anything get in the way, including somebody else's wishes. That's for them to realize, that's for them to take on the responsibility to make happen. And I really feel that a strong sense of your belief in the divine and your spiritual side, your spirit team is what has made the difference here for you. Tapping into that really has helped you gain a lot of clarity here. From a toxicity of giving to others before you give to self, or just not even, I feel like sometimes you just spared yourself. Even get back on your radar. You got back on your radar because that's what's important. Yeah, there was certainly an element here of energy that wanted you to stay put, and I think you were kind of on board with that. Lame, that's that energy. Rather than, like you did, taking this leap into this transition where you feel much more comfortable in your own skin. Yeah, there's an energy here of wanting to be out of balance, or if that's not coming from somebody else, then just being comfortable being out of balance. I think you got to a point where you're like, no, no, my social life needs to be balanced. My interaction with others needs to be more balanced, and I need to put myself first. Yeah. Yeah, because it was getting a little confusing there for a while. Doing for others, I feel like you were stretched way too thin, and then you were depleted, so you couldn't do for self. You know, you were just exhausted. There wasn't any time for self. This is a complete transformation, which we see with the first card out. And maybe it started slow, but I feel like it's snowballing. Yeah, nurturing yourself, super important. And bringing in your tribe. More even balance there. Receiving support. Yeah, I'm looking right at it as I'm thinking through the thoughts and hearing what I'm hearing. Receiving support. But you started it, is the message. You started this. I'm not going to accept less. I am going to be myself, and I am going to focus in on what it is I want in the way of this life. I'm going to manifest that in. I'm not holding back. I am all about the nurturing and the success, but I've got a better balance with how I'm acting on that. Arrogant energy follows. People may think that you're arrogant now that you're doing for self. Well, that's their problem, because, you know, anybody who would be upset with that is worried about what you're going to do for them. Let's be honest, right? Anybody who's really in your corner and really for you and really wants the best for you is going to say, absolutely, you do for you, I do for me. You know, we come at it in a healthy way. We have a good foundation going that is each our responsibility to have going. And then we come together. That's a more healthy connection than I need, and what can you do for me? So anybody who's upset with this transformation, you know, eyeball this really carefully, because there's some arrogant energy here, actually, but they're projecting onto you that you're the arrogant one that's maybe turned your back or whatever the story is. But eyeball that carefully, because I feel like, you know, you've got some people that still want to be relevant in your life, and more importantly, they want you doing for them. Okay, and you've seen the light here. You've been very enlightened. We talked about that, so you're not going back to that kind of energy. Let's grab an oracle here while we're at it. Goblins, yeah. Now this is a new deck for me, so I am going to tap into, but the way I'm reading that is this energy that's going to maybe tell stories about how you're arrogant now, focused on self. We'll take a closer look at that, because I guarantee you the people that are so worried about you being so set on focusing on self are the ones that are probably the most self-absorbed. They're worried about what you can do for them and if that's going away. This card says fear is an illusion, and you do get energy there where you didn't want to stay where it was comfortable. You knew that success was on the other side of fear, and that's exactly where you went. Two of Wands energy, we see it here. Fear is an illusion. Choose love today. Forgive yourself and others. Goblins are born when you are wounded and something essential is lost in that experience. From that point on, as you forget your wholeness, they remain with you in the shadows. They remind you of what brought them into being by mimicking your own voice, tricking you into believing that you're unworthy, victimized, or unlovable. They hold you hostage through a low self-worth, or low self-esteem, self-sabotage, and the feeling that you're lacking what you need. This is past energy for you. This is also energy wanting you to go back to that energy. If goblins pay you a visit, know that they represent the shadow of your own self or someone else's, and that they're leading you into a potentially reactive situation. This card appearance is an opportunity for growth, however, and a signal that you must love yourself. No human is without flaws. Yeah, this is how we start the read. I am loving myself. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I've gotten to this point. Maybe it was, harder for others than we're talking to a variety of people. Easier for others, harder for others, whatever your experience has been, you have gotten there. The goblin's message is that you must release resentments and negative self-talk. Absolutely. Within you is the spark of the divine. Yep, we talked about connection with your spirit team, making a big difference here. Ask spirit to help heal you. Miracles can and do happen. Let go of the negativity. Yeah, and I think you've done that. Like I said, I feel like the energy is very much about this card and what it represents, as well as on the precipice of this, new to this, but really taking to this new way of showing up and being there for yourself and showing up for yourself. That is your message. I hope you've liked it. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment. It really helps the channel. It helps it to grow. I'd really appreciate your support there. And if you feel inclined, please do utilize the link below for buying me a coffee if you found this helpful and have enjoyed it. Until next time, let's remember who we are and let's remember our self-worth. Thanks for joining me.